Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses, and welcome back. We hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. We are back in action, though, here at the Big A, and we'll be in action for 5 straight days going through New Year's Day. Andy Serling, Anthony Stabile, I take it you had a good holiday? We don't have a lot of time.
I did, yes. All good, ready to roll. Be with you all 5 days. We say goodbye to 2019 and hello to 2020 together.
4 days left, of course, in 2019, and you owe yourself a holiday present. Sign up for Naira Bets. We'll match up to $200 deposit bonus. Use the promo code Big A. A couple of promos to talk about. Bet $100 or more at Fairgrounds today through the app, and a $10 bonus. Also, there's a promo involving the Malibu today. If you bet $10 to win on somebody, and we will cap your winnings out at $50.
You bet at least $10, yeah. So if you bet 50 to win it even money, and you win 50, you get another $50.
Another 50? Is that? No.
Yeah, they double
additional?
It up.
Are you sure of that?
That's the way it sounded to me when I read it yesterday.
That's not the way it sounded to me. I think they give you a total of. I'm not sure about that.
Oh,
anyhow,
okay.
Check it out at NairaBets.com. It's convoluted, but there could be some money in there for you. Looking forward to the Malibu. I'll be rooting for Complexity, as I know you will be as well.
I will.
And he is taking on Omaha Beach in the Malibu as Santa Anita opens today, and we wish them all the best of luck out at Santa Anita this year, genuinely. Race number 1, we've seen this story before. Here is Dahl last time with Clever Tail finishing 3rd, and Dahl couldn't get it done in this race. Dahl has to deal with Queen of Everything again today. You've got Dahl on top. I cannot put this horse on top, Anth. I can't do it.
I can't blame you. I can't. I really can't blame you, but I couldn't go anywhere else.
I hear you.
I couldn't do it. You know, stacked outside of Queen of Everything. Maybe she just lets her go today. And Jose Lezcano finds a way.
Couldn't Queen of Everything wire the field?
I mean, I guess she could, but, you know, I have a little more faith in Dahl stalking Queen of Everything and just picking her up late, as opposed to Queen of Everything getting away. I'm very curious to see, with the way this race has been drawn now, with the Queen of Everything inside of Dahl, how it's going to play out.
I agree. I got to find the fuzzy in here, and I thought about using Clever Tail, because I think Clever Tail doesn't have to be used early in this race the way she was last time, because there's other speed, so maybe she could sit back and make her run. But ultimately, I went to the Stranger. That's the 3 of Bridge Too Far, and I probably missed the wedding. We saw a 14-to-1 shot on the last day we raced on Sunday from turf to dirt. Second-time starter, maiden break. It's maiden at $30 on Sunday. But this horse, you look through it, it's really more dirt than turf. So maybe this horse could benefit from that debut. Ran against a decent upfield almost a year ago down in Florida. I'll take the Stranger for the Cassie barn.
Yeah, I want to use 2, 3, and 7 to start out the early pick 5. Maybe if you say
one?
Nah, I'm going to use 2, 3s, and 7s. I don't want the one getting hounded by Dahl or having to chase Dahl.
Race number 2 was the one race today that was dramatically affected by scratches. I had really liked Mad Money's in here and was looking forward to betting against Data Driven. I know you had Data Driven on top. It was a heavy favorite morning line. Race changed quite a bit. You end up with Brimstone, who, along with Get Off My Back, looked like the 2 speeds in here.
Yeah, I'm just hoping Brimstone gets in front of them. It worked 2 starts back. He ran well enough when What a Catch reversed the decision on him last time out. Double scratch into this horse. And like you said, there's just some other speed with Get Off My Back. I'll lean on those 2. You go to the horse who could very well get the trip in here now.
Well, I don't love that a horse, Mad Money is one of the few horses that I actually wanted to bet on. And with him scratching, I was disappointed. My second choice was Liam's Let's Go. Now, obviously, with Data Driven out, I think it takes the value out of the race, because I thought he was going to be way overbet and didn't trust him one bit. Liam's Let's Go, I know I cashed on him 2 back, but I'm not sure his race 2 back isn't good enough to win here. I do not trust Get Off My Back, who I know he was in against Tougher in a sloppy sealed track last time, but he didn't do any running down at Parks last time. I don't like Brimstone in here. I suppose it's not impossible. I've got him second. I won't be shocked if he wins, but I'm not really thrilled with him. And I think the Liam's Let Go might sit the trip behind them, and I'll take a shot with him.
Very quickly, because I know we have to move on. Brimstone, you're going to see how in the past, and that wet track line is it is an accomplished line. The last year or so, he really hasn't run well on wet tracks. That was his best race, I think, by far.
I
on wet
understand,
track. And I think it proves the point that this horse has kind of refound some of his old form. So the fact that he ran as well as he did in the slop last time gives me some hope that maybe he's just going in the right direction right now.
The problem that I have, and listen, I've got him second. I won't be surprised if he wins, but his race 2 back is beginning to look like an aberration.
It could be. It could be.
Race number 3. Race number 3 is a funny race.
Affected by a scratch as well?
Yes, because I didn't like Angry Man. I'm annoyed that the Angry Man scratched because I was kind of against him in here. I do think this horse is the horse to beat, though. Flatter Me. I don't know how you have this horse as low as 4th in here, though I don't have any idea what you like about the 9, but other than you got to keep your Bill Mott card or something. This horse ran fine last time. What's wrong with him?
You know, I have a lifetime Bill Mott card. I don't have to worry about losing it.
Well, I don't know. You pick a lot of horses of his and have no chance.
Well, I wouldn't say this horse doesn't have any chance. I got to tell you something, though. This horse, to me, did a little running, did some running last time. I don't know what happened the first 2 times. You think he just needed the first 2 races to round into form?
Well, he didn't run terribly in his second start.
No.
It seems like he improved with every start.
Let me ask you
I don't like
this.
how he hung, but Secret Rules would be a heavy favorite here.
He hung, and that's my other issue.
Well, he was
with
27 to 1, and Secret Rules was 8 to 5. So he hung to horses a heavy favorite or everything's own way. So maybe the other horse just had a better trip.
Oh, there's no doubt the other horse had a better trip. I don't think it takes away from the fact that that horse hung on him a little bit.
Talk about Magic Carpet. We'll show you Magic Carpet's race at Gulfstream. Was this? You weren't. This was the one you got DQ'd in. That was back in August, right?
I was at Monmouth.
This was day
for this.
Yeah.
This was remarkable.
The stewards, seriously, they fell for this acting job by Dan Santano.
Yeah, this was amazing.
I mean, honestly, this is like giving an Academy Award to somebody who gave the worst acting performance of the year. Now, not that hasn't happened before for anybody that follows the Oscars, but this is embarrassing. I mean, this horse didn't get in any trouble at all. It was mildly steady. It was more the jockey that dragged the horse out of the race. The horse didn't have any real trouble. It was just an acting job.
And I'm a Danny Centeno fan.
What did he get from it?
It was a continuation. You want to know what it was? It was a continuation bet. He did not give Magic Carpet a particularly good ride early.
What did he do wrong?
He put him between horses. He wasn't being as aggressive as the other riders. I remember watching the race. I watched the race with Frank in the booth, just thinking this horse should be in front. And I feel like it was a continuation bet where it almost was like he needed a scapegoat. The winner became his scapegoat.
Let me tell you something. You're insane.
Okay.
If you think all of that stuff went through his head, you should check yourself.
I think he needed
You need a tune-up because you're out of your mind.
I think he needed to try to find an excuse for the ride, and he found it.
I think that's hogwash.
Jason Service had I think he won 3 on that card. Everything was going guns blazing.
But why do you like him today?
Well, he gets a little bit of a break. He gets 3 months now. He gets a considerable rider change to Manny Franco. And, you know, he's in a race where now, I mean, I would assume the Angry Man was going to have a little more speed. He's going to control this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You don't think the horse inside of him has some speed?
I'm not saying he doesn't have speed. I'm telling you, this horse is going to be on the front end today.
I'm not sure about that. I think the real reason to actually like this horse is that if you actually look up the race he comes out of, one horse after another has come back and run significantly better on speed figures in subsequent starts. And this was a conversation I had with David Aragona. I was teasing David last night because he likes this horse. And I said, oh, you're finally willing to admit that race better looks, because when Default Rate came back out of the race, I used that excuse for saying Default Rate would run better. I picked him second. I think he ran third. And to be on a heavy favor for Todd Pledger Belvase, or Bell, whatever it was, with the horse name, Belavia. And he sort of gave me a look, and I teased him last night, and we were joking about it, and he said, well, I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But a lot of horses have come back out of that race and run better, so I think it's a better race than it looks, and he would have been a bit closer if the jockey wasn't pulling those shenanigans. Having said all of that, I'm going to take a shot with Montauk Traffic. I'll use Magic Carpet and Montauk Traffic and the favorite. One of those 3 should win. I'm just going to go with the Linda Rice second time out factor. I don't know about the solid gallop out. I couldn't really see it anywhere. I mean, as David said to me, I would hope the horse could run a little bit at the end, because the horse didn't do any running at the beginning part of the race.
Well, you beat 50
so
lengths.
I don't really know what that means, but it's a Linda Rice second-time star card, a sloppy track first time out. So I'll use that angle, and a horse there'll be a fair enough price.
I'll tell you what, I understand the horse as an excuse first time out. I don't like seeing that out of young horses, number 1. Number 2, she shipped this horse to Laurel first time out.
She does it all the time. She does it all the time. She does it all the time. And you know what? Some of them win.
Some of them can
Keep
win
making
all
your
you
face,
want.
Daniel
Some of them
Santano.
win all you want. You can have
Daniel
this horse.
Santano's analyst.
You can have this
Let's
horse.
hear your talk about Brythorn, who looks like about the 10th likeliest winner of this race.
Blinkers on, a couple of distance races, cutting back to 7/8, gets Kendrick Carmouche. I don't think this horse will be as far back as he's been with the blinkers and the addition of Kendrick. If you get a little speed in here, a couple of horses wanting in the last 1/8 of a mile, going 7 panels, you're betting a horse that got beat 50 lengths. I'm picking a horse that hasn't run in 3 months.
I'm betting a horse that's 10 to 1 morning line.
Yeah.
You're betting a horse that's second to 1, second choice morning line.
You're not
a
asking
trainer
me
who I have an angle with.
You're
Okay.
asking me to justify
Okay, wait.
a price.
We can have a lunch
I'm
bet.
just trying
We
to
can have a
tell
lunch
you.
bet.
You can have a lunch bet all you want.
I will bet you one lunch.
But I'm going to tell you right now.
3 over 9.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Flat up.
When this thing stands in the gate, if this thing stands in the gate again, I'm collecting my lunch.
Anthony, our rule is the jockey staying on.
That's it.
Yes, the horse finishing. Our rule is the horse finishing. It is not. Anyway, okay, we disagree. Race number 4. We probably don't disagree in race number 4. Mr. Buff is back. We'll start. We'll do a little Mr. Buff. A testimony to Mr. Buff, who is one of the coolest horses in racing. We'll show him winning the Empire Classic, where he beats Dynamax Prime. He did all the dirty work. But Dynamax Prime, you got to give Rob Atras a lot of credit. He's done a great job with this horse, a great job with him. And then we'll show him beating Twisted Tom by a nose in this very race last year.
Stunning. I mean, it's
amazing. I know Twisted Tom somehow found his form last time. I don't know.
And the Avila horses have been running well as far as Twisted Tom goes. Listen, the race goes through Mr. Buff, and there's no way around it here. The only thing I guess you can question is how much pressure does Jose Lezcano put on from the rail with Giodoro?
Well, he's outside of that one, though.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't we in at least agreement that this horse is just better when he's on the front end? Because I think he is.
Well, didn't he rate 2 or 3 races back?
I mean, he was off the lead for a half a second and then made the lead.
No, he was off the lead for half a mile 2 races back.
No, he wasn't off that far.
Yes, he was. He was also off the lead 4 races back. So he's learning to rate, and he draws outside of Giodoro. So I'm not really concerned about it.
Okay.
I'll tell you something. He didn't run that badly in the Clark. Take a look at how the horse who duel with him ran. That horse is the horse that runs 80 and 90 buyers. Horse ran a 23 buyer, finishing last, getting basically eased. I don't think he ran that badly.
Listen, I couldn't really trust Dynamax Prime. It's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard on the mile and an 1/8 races going to 2 turns. For me,
I've got Dynamax Prime second. I think he's the second likeliest winner.
Yeah, right. But I think that would be he's a long way back to being the second most likeliest winner. He would need Giodoro to really.
Well, you just told me you're worried about
Mr.
Buff rating, so apparently he's not a long way back.
I am. I had a funny feeling Junior's is going to blast him off.
He's not, but okay. Who knows? Not if Giodoro breaks, he's not.
Okay.
All right, race number 5. Race number 5, we got the Malibu Mischief race, beating Radiant Rhythm and Cover Photo. And we'll show you a stat for Brad Cox off the claim with Cover Photo afterwards. What did you do with these horses? Did you pick Malibu Mischief?
No, I picked Malibu Mischief. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, how about it? Here he is, or she is.
You know, it's coming off the sloppy track effort for Jason Service claimed out of this. I think it's a good sign that this horse is being bumped up off the claim because with the necessary time off now, they could have dropped this horse. Instead, they're going to run it for the quarter, and I think that's a good sign because more often than not, when you lose these service horses,
isn't it kind of the race just came up, though?
Maybe. I'll tell you what. I don't know if she is as good on the wet track. I know one race last time.
24 in the money, by the way. 80% in the money off the claim in the dirt at Naira. That's pretty
It's a spread race. It's a spread race for me. And maybe you can argue that I should have taken a different horse, maybe one of the prices in here. I want to mess around with that Finger Lakes horse again that you made fun of me for last time.
Let me tell you, this is great news for you because you're going to be very excited because you have to pick Rattle the. I think it's Rattle the Stars. I think Rattle the Stars is in on Monday. No, Monday. You haven't looked at that yet. Don't some card that you're like a day away from looking at. Yeah, and I thought of you. I thought, oh, this horse lost to DeWitt in the River. Anthony's going to be all over.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about a horse that can win. How does this horse have a chance in here?
DeWitt in the River? Like I said the other day, I mean, some of these horses have been coming down from Finger Lakes and winning. This one's going to be 15 to 1.
Anthony,
in a race
you're going to have to get the ROI.
They've been running.
You're going to have to get.
They've been running. A lot of these horses have hit the exactor and try. Listen, I'm not saying this horse
win knocking 50 to 1 shots, but good luck to this.
Horse going to be 20 to 1. I mean, you really have any? You have any faith in it?
If you don't pick a horse that was second to her on Monday, I'm going to have Kyle drag you out of the room.
You're picking a horse who's done 0 running in her last 2 starts.
Actually, that's untrue. But fortunately for you guys, I actually watched the races last time
out. You want lunch? You want a lunch on this one? 4 for 6. You can have a lunch on this one. You have 3 lunches on this one if you want.
3 lunches.
Okay.
4 over 6.
Keep taking them horses off of Gargan. Let me
I'm
know
up
how you
39 lunches going into today.
Let me
by
know
the
how
way.
you do. Keep
Anyhow,
taking horses off of Gargan.
how this horse is done. Well, she didn't break last time and then proceeded to get completely shuffled out, being on the rail on a day when everybody was staying off the rail all day long. And she didn't even run that badly in the context of the race. The time before that, she was chasing 3 and 4 wide against a gold rail. So she has legitimate excuses. I don't disagree. It is ex-Danny Gargan. But today is the day to take her. She's in the right field. I'm not against the 7. The 7 can absolutely win this race. I think No Deal. I mean, you don't have No Deal 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you're absolutely bonkers not to have this horse 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm sure you do. It's just, she's another one. We're going to take her on who she's been running against, not with the running she's been doing.
No, if she runs her race 2 back, she'll win this race. In all likelihood. Be very tough to beat.
Have at her. She's all yours.
Not to have her in the top 4. I mean, you don't even want to keep your distance. Gary Gullo off the claim. Gary Gullo with his numbers off the claim. You don't want to have this horse anywhere in there as well. I mean, that's my problem with the 6, Nowitna River. Listen, you know, I'm not against taking shots with big prices, but you're taking this horse at the expense of some very live horses in this race, like the 5 and 9.
That are going to be a third of her price.
Anthony, they should be a 10th of her price.
I don't want No Deal. I don't want anything to do with No Deal.
Well, you want to bet me No Deal beats Nowitna River? You want another 3 lunches on that one?
I'll take, no, because I'm not as convinced that she's as done as Trouble for Skylar. I'll take one. Take 1 lunch on that.
Okay, 1, 9 over 6. If Frank is watching the show right now...
He's not.
He's in tears. Oh, it's opening day at Santa Anita for Frank.
Frank's got bigger fish to fry than us today.
Frank's fried many fish bigger than us.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't eat it.
That's right. He doesn't eat healthy. I forgot.
Not healthy. He eats a lot of pizza and pasta.
Race number 6 does have a horse that's very, very much the horse to beat, and that's Miss Grateful. And the reality is, we'll take a look at her race because we'll show you the start and we'll show you the end. If she didn't get left, she would have won this race. This race legitimately came up fast. This horse runs back to her debut. I picked her second. You got her on top. She runs back to her debut. She feels like she's about 2 to 5 to win this race. I wanted to take a shot at a price with a horse that I think's a little interesting, but paying against this horse is probably stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really get past those 2 horses. I mean, when you watch that race that afternoon with Convict and this horse, you kind of felt like you were watching 2 horses that were going to have a couple of decent futures here. At least I did anyway. And look, I made this argument earlier for the horse I didn't like. You can argue this horse maybe hung on Convict a little bit. Maybe she did.
Well,
but
she got left.
She kind of got, but she had to overcome a lot.
When you have to overcome that much, especially as firsters, you're gonna not
I'm a little
finish.
more forgiving here. She was a firster and she got left.
And it was a fast race too. It's not like if it was a slow race and she did that, I could understand. It was a fast race. She's the worst to beat. Why did I pick Northside? I want to show the head on of her start because this horse was 9-2 in a 14-horse field, where, by the way, Notorious Flirt ran very well. She's the number 13, and I want you to watch because it's interesting. I mean, you don't even see it that bad at the start, and she's getting completely slouted around. I'm going to tell you something. This horse is quick. If this the thing about this break is none of it was her fault. The inside horse comes in the outside horse comes in a little. The inside horse comes in a lot and slams her. So you know she's got to have speed. And I thought she was a little dangerous. And she's the alternative I want. Listen, I think Impetuous is very dangerous in here as well. In fact, let's show Impetuous. Let's show the start, and then we'll show the last quarter of Impetuous' debut back in June at Belmont. This is a weird race, but I mean, you know, Cleon Jones was like 5th in this race, and it does feel like these Cassie horses run, doesn't it?
It does, and it gets a little
I mean, she's number 4, those Tracy Farmer Silks getting totally shuffled out of the race. Then makes a big wide run. And I thought this was a day, inside speed was pretty good. The track was pretty fair, but it didn't hurt to be inside speed, and she was way out wide.
It gets a little tough this time of year because we'll have some horses that ran in the earlier 2-year-old races. Now they're 4, 5, 6 months later, and you're going to see that the buyer figures, if you use the racing form, you know, they're going to start to creep up a little higher. This filly actually ran a number. If you take the Colt, I should say, if you take More Grateful out of the equation, he ran a number comparable to anybody else here back in May,
June
6 months or 5.5 months ago. So
no, 6 months ago.
6 months 23rd. Ago. So I think
routine improvement
that has to be respected.
Routine improvement arguably makes this horse in a lot of ways the second likeliest winner and had a bit of a trip.
You worry about the horse being gone 6 months. But the horse still ran well enough first time out.
They seem to come back running for the Cassie barn. They really do. Listen, Box of Rain ran fine last time, and, you know, it's just a box of rain. You know, it's a Grateful Dead song, in case you're interested.
I do. And you know
that's a Grateful Dead song?
Well,
What album
you
is it
told
on?
me last time. Which Way to Malibu is another horse, the 5, who, again, ran a 59 or a 56 that very same race with Listen to Your Heart, came back, caught a wet track off his 5-month layoff, and improved the point.
It was a good Harrow track. It was hard to wet.
But I'm just saying, the horse came off the long break, had a little bit of moisture in the track, and now, you know,
this is too tough. We got to move on. You think? I think this is too tough a field for Which Way to Malibu.
Okay.
I just thought, but we'll see. Listen, this is not an easy race.
No.
I even had the 4 Notorious Flirt in there, who ran very well last time if I hadn't moved early. Race number 7 is a confusing bring-back race, which has the addition of Wicked Trick. I didn't show that replay, but we'll talk about the race that Chateau and Put the Glass Down ran Saratoga, because this, of course, is the infamous race of the argument about the dead rail at Saratoga. And I do believe that Put the Glass Down would have won this race if not driven down to the inside by Jose in the late stages. Having said that, he couldn't go outside of Chateau because I think it was it Lescano or Saez? Lescano was so far out in the middle of the track. But anyway, he ended up whipping the horse right down to the rail, and it killed the rally. But Chateau did all the dirty work in there. But doesn't Chateau have to deal with the 8 run for the Munnings for Jeremiah on the outside? Potentially Arthur's Hope as well. I mean, isn't this supposed to be a pretty quick pace?
Yes. I love the fact that all of these horses all of the speed are still signed on in here like they were last time. And now Wicked Tricks.
I think one of them's gone.
No, it was the 3 speeds, wasn't there? Arthur's Hope?
No,
yeah?
I think there was one other.
All right. Well, I thought there were 3.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Anyway, they're all there. I'm a big Wicked Trick fan. I think you have to worry about
You don't think that
Arthur's
race just
Hope.
fell apart last time?
No, I don't. I mean, it did, but I don't think that's the main reason. This horse has continuously improved. It's been 4 dirt wins in a row now. You know, Linda has this horse pointed in the right direction. This is a good stat I'm seeing for the first time. These horses, when she gets them in good form, they continue to win. And this horse gets a great setup today, has been impeccable at the distance. I mean,
you don't think this is a better field, though?
I don't think I'd argue it's a better field, but with one of the speeds removed from here, it probably makes this horse's job a little tougher. But now there has to, there almost has to be a duel in here now.
Well, I disagree with the timer pace projector simply because I don't see how they're not going to be sending the 8 in here, who's a need to lead tight. And I know he ran against Chateau in that Saratoga race, and they did go quick that day, but I have to think that's going to happen again. I can't believe the 8's not going to go again.
And you brought up the point about Arthur's Hope last time, that he might just very well be the most talented horse. Now he's drawn inside the other 2 speeds. Well, he's got to go.
He's not fast. No, he's not fast enough to keep up with him. He's just not fast enough to keep up. He's not.
Whether he's fast enough to keep up, Andy, or not, doesn't he have to be sent?
No, he can't keep up with that.
Wow.
The 5 and 8 are faster.
It's hard for me to envision him being rated.
The 5 and 8 are so much faster than him. It's not a question of being rated. He could be in a drive and not be able to keep up with him, Anthony.
Well, that's my point. My point is that he's got to be getting sent.
Go into an all-out send to chase wildly behind a fast pace. So I'm not saying he's going to snatch and grab him out of the gate, though around here they snatch and grab everything. I just think he's not fast enough.
Well, you got to worry about his chances, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have him in the top 4. You have him in the top 4. I mean, you don't have. Okay, you have 5. Okay, I was wondering who I'm missing. Okay, you don't like Chateau at all. I don't trust him. But I think he's the worst to beat in a lot of ways. I think Wicked Trip's going to be overbet here. I would use him defensively. Linda seems to win, as you say, with these things, and I showed that stat.
I'm leaning heavily on Wicked Trip today.
I thought the 8th race was extremely, extremely difficult. And one of the reasons I thought it was difficult was because I don't trust Time Warp. Mike Maker has awful numbers off of layoffs and trainer changes, but the reality is this horse was close to good enough to win this race as a 2-year-old.
Yep.
So if she shows even routine improvement from year to year, though she's off this long layoff, she could smother this field. I don't trust her, but I put her on top. I had one of the same picks as you did in this race. You have her second. We'll show the Gilded Marie race where Gilded Marie runs 3rd, and Overtime Olivia almost held on. Overtime Olivia almost knocked everybody out in this race.
Yeah, that was a big effort by Overtime Olivia. Fantastic ride by Eric Cancel on Sweet Meadow Mist. Yeah, Gilded Marie came back. She ran really, really well. I thought off the return. I know the number came back kind of slow, but
the number came back a little slow for this race. I mean, I don't think they're a particularly fast group.
This was the famous trainer's objection. Or the assistant trainer's objection.
It's one of the silly,
right?
there have been some crazy. I think well, you'll have like Gilda Maria. She kept on running.
Kept on
but
the whole way.
The problem is if the figure's right, and Timeform had this faster than Beyer did, but the figure's right.
She's got to improve. She's got to improve tremendously to be a player in here. I'm hoping the number was just a little low. I'm hoping she's going to improve. You know, it's funny on dirt. Chris Englehart's never had a chance to run her in consecutive starts without a 3 or 4 month break. So this is the first time he's going to be able to do that. I'm hoping there's some improvement there. You know, I don't love the inside draw because I don't want to say she looked intimidated last time, but I don't know if she was 100% comfortable being down inside of horses. When she broke her maiden, she was in a 9-0.
Winner for Jay going to go?
Yeah,
there's
speed and yeah, you know, it may behoove Junior.
They're supposed to move in this race.
It may behoove Junior to let them go and just try to work out a trip.
He can't run with them. They're faster.
He's got to, but I mean, I would think about maybe just taking a hold when the gate opens and trying to work out a trip.
Him.
No, I understand that, but like we were talking about earlier with Author's Hope, I wouldn't want her being sent out of there.
Well, he's not going to send her. She would. If you would look a little bit more at pace figures, you would understand the difference between a horse that can't possibly be on the lead and a horse that you think can be.
I'm talking about a horse that could be on the lead. I'm saying that there's a difference between leaving for some position.
Slower than her speed.
Yeah, I understand that, but I would almost rather trying to take a long hold of her and make one run as opposed to being pocketed up in here.
But you don't know because she's only been effective when she's been relatively forward.
Well, she's only had the chance. She's never had the chance to do anything else. I don't know. You know, I don't know. She's a tepid selection. I want to use. I'm using 5 horses in here. I'm using 2, 3.
I could use a million horses
really.
in here. I threw Quietude in when she was terrible last time, but she does have a race 2 back that can win this race, and I thought the race could fall apart. And she has races that are good enough to win, though her last race was atrocious.
Yeah. Probably. She will. If she gets the pace she's supposed to get in here.
Race number 9. Right. We agreed race number 9. Oh, you liked this horse last time. Rousey.
Yeah.
And why do you like her again today?
Well, I was going to get the outside draw today. I'm a big fan of that, getting to the outside. Getting onto a fast track. I know it wasn't that wet of a track. But,
it wasn't. You can't call these
and this
good
horse didn't have. This horse didn't have a. Had some trouble at the start last time.
Well, what happened exactly?
You could assume.
Because I want you to watch these replays.
Well,
I want you to walk us through them.
The horse got sandwiched a little bit.
The horse was completely stayed out at the start. It actually broke slow, and once she broke about a half length slow, and then they came over a little bit, she got completely taken out of the race.
She got sandwiched.
Right. We should show these replays. She was badly shut off in that race. Anyhow, she lost all chance, and that was a race that was won forward. It wasn't a day when it was particularly easy to close. I thought she was okay. I'm just not thrilled with what we've seen. The Vitanza race, I don't really like. I thought that Grey Witch race was extremely hungry. I don't see why anybody should bet Becca's Take Charge. I thought that this horse ran better than Becca's Take Charge in that race, and I just don't know that Becca's Take Charge in any running in any of her races. The only thing I like about her is she's second off a layoff. But at a short price,
I think you have to. But I think, listen, you know, this would be a tough race because Rousey's not going to be 12-1. There's no way Rousey's going to be 12-1.
Well, they also scratched Miss Ross, who was going to take money. What price is Rousey going to be? 9-1?
No, I think Rousey will be shorter than that.
How short is she supposed to be?
Rousey's going to be. You don't think people are going to see the trouble with the break last time and the
whole? They decide to watch it.
Whole 9 yards. It's supposed to be 6-1.
No, she won't. The 8, Take It All Back. Then I won't bet her. I think Take It All Back's interesting. Obviously, her races in Finger Lakes are atrocious, and she has no chance to win based on those races at Finger Lakes. But her first 2 races, when she was back in Tommy Albertroni's barn, where she is again, those races are fast enough to win, and those were races that she was running late in her 2-year-old, early in her 3-year-old year. Now, she may be totally...
What happened?
I don't know, but she's back in the barn that she was running for.
She's going to be 20-1. I ain't going to argue with you over a 20-1
She only lost by a length and 3/4 with some trouble in that Kathy's Cause race, and Kathy's Cause is going to be a much shorter price.
Listen, the first 2 races put her right there. I don't know what happened the last
I
3
agree,
of the last 4.
But she has races that can win this, and this is a kind of race where
Tommy's barn's going well too. Tommy does a great job, and Tommy's barn's going well.
Tommy's not here, but this is a race where anything could happen because there's nobody in this race that's ever run effectively at all.
No, I don't.
We're out of time, Johnny.